Real Madrid have been worried about the emergence of what they call nation clubs, teams propped up by the finances of entire states, but judging from the events in Paris on Tuesday night and the reaction to them on Wednesday morning, there are some things money can't buy. They can't buy 116 years of history in which 12 European Cups have been won. It was the club's birthday on Tuesday, and as El País match report put it, they celebrated in Paris by destroying PSG. You can't buy history, and not the sort of history that can only be illustrated by grainy black and white clips of men in baggy shorts. Madrid have reached the last 8 Champions League quarter-finals. Winning is a habit that Paris Saint-Germain have yet to develop. You can't buy the experience of players like Sergio Ramos, who has now played 110 Champions League games for Madrid. Only Raúl and Iker Casillas have played more season after season of progressing in the same competition for the same club that it becomes second nature. You can't buy that. PSG upset both Barcelona and Real Madrid last summer when they smashed the world record for a transfer by signing Neymar, but with their prize purchase in Brazil recovering from surgery, and their second biggest purchase, Kylian Mbappé, taken off at the end after underwhelming on the big night, they needed others to step forward and nobody did. Maybe strength in depth is something that you can buy, but it takes years, and PSG have not been playing this game for long enough. Madrid won this game with Toni Kroos, Gareth Bale, Luka Modric and Isco all on the bench. None of them were missed. There may be consequences to that going forward. This was the night when both Marco Asensio and Lucas Vázquez announced themselves on the European stage. Zidane had picked the pair of them ahead of Isco and Bale, and they had combined for the all-important first goal. Asensio is no longer just a great 22-year-old prospect, he looks a mature performer. And Vázquez is no longer just the grinning happy-go-lucky squad player who can be relied upon to give his all when he is picked. He looks worthy of his starting berth. Isco and Bale might struggle to win their places back for the big games. There are lots of games and he is important, said Zidane after the game when asked about Bale. That might have sounded like a vote of confidence, but it could also be interpreted as him being ready to use both Bale and Isco in the now meaningless league games so as to rest Vázquez and Asensio in Europe. That is certainly what he did last weekend ahead of this game. Diario AS picked up on the fact that Bale never went to celebrate with Madrid's traveling support at the end of the game. He can maybe feel justifiably aggrieved at being behind Benzema in the pecking order. The French forward was probably Madrid's worst player on the night. But Asensio and Vázquez's performances meant no one was talking about Bale being left out on the final whistle. Bale has to wait his turn. He has no reason to complain, said Diario AS's columnist Tomás Rincero. The coach believes in everyone. He doesn't just look at the name on the shirt, said Asensio. Bale has fallen out with Zidane. The pair have disagreed over his role in the team. But he needs to find a way of getting back on side with the coach and with the supporters who will always side with the club legend Zidane. Now is not the time to be taking on the manager. Zidane has won his last 7 knockout matches in Europe. That beats the previous record held by José Villalonga and Miguel Muñoz, who both won 6 on the bounce. As well as knocking them out of Europe, Real Madrid also inflicted a financial wound on PSG, who miss out on an estimated €13 million by not making it to the quarter-finals from lost prize money and sponsorship. They may yet have to get past another nation club in Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola's side will provide a far tougher test. The likes of Bayern Munich and Barcelona will also be more of a match for them, and Tottenham have already beaten this Madrid side in Europe. But they look in good shape for a tilt at a third straight Champions League. There was a time when Madrid were the big spenders, throwing money at the team in the hope that success would just come. For 3 years, from 2003 until 2006, they had a team full of expensive signings and failed to make it to the quarter-finals. Now it's PSG trying to buy rather than build success. This was the perfect place to come and vindicate ourselves, said Ramos. Madrid had gone to the home of the new money and produced the same old result.